All right, this brings me to a new segment, which I'm going to call the biggest 2-5 pot of the year. This was the biggest 2-5 pot that I witnessed, not necessarily the biggest 2-5 pot that I was in. So, but it's interesting enough that I want to show it to you. So here it is. That's the pot. The players that were involved in this hand were seat 6 and seat 7. Seat 6 is out of the frame, but here's a picture of him. And here's the pot. As you can see, there are some empty racks in the background. Those were filled with $500 in chips apiece. The player in seat 6 had 2 full racks. The player in seat 7 had 2 full racks. I think the pot was just under $3,000 or just over $3,000, but it was in the $3,000 range. As you can see, those empty racks over there were all full and they were emptied. There's at least $1,000 to the right of the dealer's hand, and there's at least $1,500 in the main pot there. And as you can see, let's take a look at the flop here. And these two had been wanting to go to war for a while. They both had so many chips, it was only a matter of time before they got it in the middle. As you can see, the flop was the 10 of diamonds, the 4 of hearts, and the jack of spades. The way the pre-flop betting went, seat 6, I think he limped, and seat 7 made it 25 to go. Seat 6 made it 75 to go, so he limp re-raised. And seat 7 just called, so there's about $150 in the pot when we saw this flop. The flop was 10 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, jack of spades. Seat 6 leads into the pot for 150 and immediately gets snap called. The turn was the queen of spades, and in the state of Washington we have a $500 max bet rule. That means you can only bet $500. Now you can bet $500, get raised $500, get re-raised $500, and every once in a while that silly rule gets in the way of a no-limit game since, well, that isn't no limit, now it's a $200 to $500 spread limit game, and that's exactly what happened in this hand. So on the turn, the queen of spades comes off. Seat 6 decides to bet $500, and immediately just snap call. River comes, I can't tell, it was a 7 of diamonds or the 8 of diamonds, and he shoves all in for his remaining $150, $200 in chips, and of course he gets snap called, and is kind of sheepish when he tables the queen king offsuit. And it turns out that on this board, with that action, the queen pair was good, and he wins the entire pot. And that's pretty much how it happened. Seat 7 chose to not rebuy. He got up and left immediately, and I mean, I suppose, what could he have had? Ace Jack, maybe? Couldn't be Jack 10. Couldn't be... might be Jack King. I doubt it. Had to be Ace Jack, right? I mean, if he can't beat a pair of queens, what else could it be? Ace 10? Anyway, I try not to overthink it in situations like this, and just congratulate seat 6 for a job well done and a huge pot won, and that was the pot big enough to just about break this game. We played for another 20 minutes, and that brought me to the hand that got me even. Alright, the 2-5 game broke, and the only game in the room that was going was a 4-handed 5-5 game. The 5-5 game is a $500 buy-in game where you can buy in for only $500. No less, no more, 500 even. So I took my chips over there. I think I had 580 at this point, and stuck 80 in my pocket, sat down with my 500. In the game was this guy. That's Seth Beaver on the right. That's me on the left. Hold on. Alright, that's better. That's Seth Beaver on the right. That's me on the left. And Seth has a poker vlog. I saw his vlog a few days ago, and I'd never actually met him, but I did comment on his vlog when I saw that he had been climbing down in Yosemite. So I had commented on his vlog. He was kind enough to respond, and I recognized him sitting in the poker room and said, oh, he must be on a West Coast leg of his trip, and sure enough, it was him. We chatted for a bit. Anyway, he was sitting over in the 5-5 game, and we had both started playing at about 11 o'clock. Maybe, was it 11 o'clock? No. We had both started playing at about 1 in the afternoon, I think. So we'd both been there close to 12 hours at this point, and he was doing the Ironman 5-5 session. It was four-handed when I got over there, and immediately to his right in seat 1 was a player who I think had won a jackpot out on the slot machines or something like that. I don't know what had happened, but he had disappeared from the 2-5 game after he had busted out and went out into the pit and won some money and came back and went right to the 5-5 game. So Seth can probably tell you more about that in his vlog. Look for an update for his Snoqualmie report. And this hand came up. It might have been the first hand I played, the second hand I played. It was pretty early on. I didn't play very many hands. So I picked up King Queen offsuit under the gun. I raised it up to 15, and the loose player in seat 1 had called me. Flop comes down, King Deuce Deuce. I was feeling pretty good about this, so I did a standard c-bet. C30 in the pot. I can't remember exactly. It was early in the morning. Let's just assume I made a standard c-bet of 20 bucks. And seat 1 had called. Turn comes a king. So I've got the effective nuts at this point, and now I'm trying to figure out what the best way is to get the rest of his money. I figured if I continued showing strength here, I wasn't going to get very many hands to continue, so I chose to check. And fortunately, he elected to bet. At this point, I did my best I have two jacks impression, and scraped together a call, threw the chips out in the middle. River was a queen. I think he had just under 200 left at this point, so pretty sure it was all going to get in the middle, and I was trying to figure out if he was going to bet or if it was up to me to bet. I checked, he bet, jammed all in immediately, and of course I snap call with my kings full of queens at this point, and he rolled over the ace deuce for a flopped trips. So I guess I was the one that needed to get lucky, which I did. I played a couple of more hands and realized that it was extraordinarily late. And so I left, and that was that.